G'day time, my fuzzyites, and welcome back to Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing Wild World is day 35 at 8:08 at night p.m. We really have to hurry because I need to get stuff done and go to work. We're really cutting it close, and I like to do stuff before work. Yeah, so we'll go in just 1 second. Just gotta see if I'm going through. I am. Yeah. Nothing really new to update. Oh, one thing to update. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. I've lost my one thing. The whole thing with the one coworker that made work frickin' stupid. There's been kind of a resolution to that. Or I guess there has been a resolution to that. So if you don't remember, what happened was, apparently the one coworker, from my point of view, wanted me to do, help out with stuff, even though I couldn't because the machines were down, so I couldn't do it. And among other things, which is what I thought was going on, because that's what was told to me through a manager. Yeah. Dora. So I'm moving to you. Oh, Dora left. I wouldn't even talk to her before she said goodbye. But yeah, so that's what but I talked to them, and it is still stupid, but I understand it a bit more. Apparently, so for our job, we have certain lists we do. It's on like a thing. You pick a list and you go through it. Everyone has like their own degree of lists they are meant to do, or it is reasonably assumed that they will do. Either because that's the part of the store they work, or whatever. And so apparently, so with other stuff happening, I think I talked about it with work, I switched locations in the store. And because I switched locations to somewhere that didn't have a lot more going on, I talked to this one coworker and said, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be taking over this list. That is one of our... It's really tedious because it's a lot of heavy stuff you gotta bring out sometimes. Because I'm like, hey, it just makes sense being on where I am. It just makes sense to take the tougher list and whatnot. So we did. We switched out. And I guess when I did that, a previous coworker who was in the area I was in, doing the stuff I was doing, etc., etc. They used to take a particular list, which, with everything going on from the previous week, I didn't even really consider that when I took over the one list. And so they thought I was going to take over both lists. Which now, with that, hearing it, etc., etc., I'm like, okay, I get it. They think I was snubbing them and forcing them to take a list that was not that I had said I would take when I didn't. They just assumed because the other person had 5 lists that I was going to take all 5 lists, but it didn't even register to me because the one list has a lot of food-ish items on it, and we're not supposed to do food-ish items. So I just was like, yeah, I don't do that. Wasn't a thing. But like, it's still stupid because again, we had a good rapport. Like, I would say we were work friends. And it's like, and I told him like, oh yeah, I didn't know that. That was not what I was taking. I was taking this other list and whatnot. And I told him like, if you have a problem, come talk to me. Like, if I'm doing something, I said it to everyone. If I'm doing something wrong, I want to know so I can correct it. But from what I guess he told the manager and the manager telephoned to me, it was a, oh, you should do stuff more and whatnot. And I thought it was from the one day because the machine was down and I couldn't. Stuff was left, which wasn't a big deal because a lot of it was full. It was just topping up. But yeah, so that's what happened. It's still stupid because like the guy went from like 0 to 1,000 out of nowhere when we talked about it, literally talked about it, because he's like, oh, this is what would happen. And I'm like, really? Oh yeah, no, I didn't know I was taking that list. I took the other list. I didn't even consider that because the other list has a lot of food items on it. So I just leave it. And he's like, oh, there are a few items we can do. And now, because things have shifted, even more items are on there. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. And oddly enough, when you talk to someone, it can actually be sorted out really well. And it's even more annoying. It's really dark out here. It's already 8 o'clock. I mean, you gotta stay up all night. Alright, you're the one to cheer up. Nothing. But, like, it's still stupid, because it's like, even he admitted, like, yeah, there were times in the past where another coworker that we work with was angry at me for things, and then he himself would come talk to me about it, and he said, like, all the time, if not most of the time, we would talk about it, and I'd immediately go, like, oh, that makes sense why you're not doing something, or why you're doing something and not another thing. Okay, that makes more sense. And I'm like, yeah, just talk to me. So, like, while I understand it's better now, the error's been cleared, still stupid that he wouldn't just talk to me and be like, hey, you're not doing this list. Why aren't you doing that list? And I'd usually be able to go, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that list. I have X, Y, Z, and A. Did not know Beta B was on that list too. And he would have gone, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Again, we talked about it, and we literally had the conversation we should have had a week ago. Where it was like, yeah, I thought it was mostly food, so I left it. I didn't know there was more to it. I also didn't know that I was expected to get on that list, but it does make sense because another person we worked with would get on that list. That was part of their list, even though that's a whole other thing. The person's gone now because they did not have good work ethics. It was that incident was a lot of like death by 1,000 cuts type of thing, where it was just, yeah, it's better with him gone. He did a lot of things. And again, it's one of those things where it's not one thing they did, but they did a lot of, like, there was a lot of personal issues, as well as, how he would go about work and whatnot. He wouldn't. But anyways, but yeah. So I'm like, oh, I did not know I was expected to take the list. I apologize, because if I knew that, then I would have, again, just talking about it. And I even said a few times, it hurt even more, because this is basically like a work friend who I thought I could trust doing this. And then out of nowhere, But yeah, so that's been sorted out. Again, still fucking stupid on his end for what, like, him going about it. Like, I could understand if it was someone who have had hostilities over stuff in the past. Where it was a point where, like, I don't want to talk to this person because they're just an asshole, or we don't get along, or there's personal issues. Like, if it was that, then yeah. I could get not talking to them and going... Or if we're on different shifts, and it's like, well, I can't talk to X person, so I need to talk to the manager to talk to them. But yeah. But yeah, so that's all settled. I'm happy. Still, I'm not really upset. I'm just I'm very disappointed. Daisy, give me your answer true. But yeah, so still stupid, but I think we're basically back to normal. Just yeah, like I said, big thing in life. Oh, is that what happened? Did I not sell to him? Like, if you're having issues with someone, just talk to them. Always try and make sure that what's going on is, like, discussed and not just, like, they think something's going on when it's not. Because, again, from my point of view, they got upset with me because of, they're like, oh, you weren't doing this job. And it's like, I couldn't do that job. Instead of, you're not doing your job that you said you take the list of. I thought you were taking the list of this. Which is like, oh, no, I get that. I get why they're mad. I'd be pissed, too, if it was like, well, this person's taking all this, and they're not doing this. Like, that's frustrating. Because they also saw it as a personal snub against them. Where it's like, oh, he's purposely not doing this list, so I have to do it. And I said, like, no. That's not what's going on here. Again, it was just, I didn't think about that list. I don't think about that list. I don't think I've ever done that list, because, again, it's mostly foodish items, so I leave it. And yeah. So that's good. Now, well, Oh. Well, I go do this. I'm going to feed my cat and check things. And if I buy it, you know that I needed it. But yeah, so hopefully work will go back to an actual good state. Because like I said, the one other coworker who got, who quit, like I said, it was just annoying because a lot of us would do a lot, and then they would, the only time they ever hustled is if we were going to be able to get out early or whatnot. Metronome. And if they didn't think we were, or like, you know, we're gonna get done and we don't need to rush, then they were kind of completely useless. Like, we're doing fine without them, which says a lot. They also took a lot of days off for no particular reason. Punk box, no. So, like, a lot of us were happy because it's like, yeah, this person who is not a dependable coworker is now going to be gone. And whatnot. And then, like I said, there was the stuff that's stupid, and the one main manager's looking into it because either something was said to them and they blew it out of proportion, or it was already blown out of proportion. And either way, I don't like being blamed for stuff that I didn't do and whatnot. Because that happened, it's already winter, so it messes with my everything. And then to have that coming from a coworker that I, again, consider a work friend. Sucks, you know. It sucks to have one, like, with the other coworker, we didn't really interact much, so it was a passive thing for me. But I know there were a lot. They tried to imbue their will as if they had more authority over some other people. That came in after him, even though it was like only a few months and whatnot. And again, there was quite a bit of stuff that rubbed me the wrong way, and all of us were like, oh yeah, this is not a team player. And again, like, it's good they're gone. I had less interaction with them than a lot of other people, so it was more of a passive thing. And to switch out that for more of a, like, congruent, this person who I thought was a friend now is angry for, in my opinion, what it seemed like at the time was nothing. There was nothing they, like, could have gotten out of that. There's no way they quote unquote would win against me in that front. Because, like, I did nothing wrong. Groovy wall. We just need the shirt so we can skip over Groovy's. Yeah. But it's settled. I'm sorry, I'm spending my whole time here talking about it, but it was such a shit thing that rocked me for a while. As you saw, I literally turned off my camera. For a few days there. Because I just really rocked me harder than anything else had rocked me in a while. And again, for it to be something that, again, literally a 2-second conversation. Hey, you're not doing this list. Why aren't you doing this list? Oh, sorry, I didn't know I had to do that list. Oh, okay. Yeah, rattled me. I'm so glad it's been settled. Everything will go back to normal-ish, even though, like, relationships still kind of tainted. Because, again, it went from great friends to you're the fucking devil. Out of seemingly nowhere, and for no reason that is, like, not explainable. But, again, still a bad show. Should have talked to me. Again, even talking, it was very clear it was just a misunderstanding. Which, again, kind of sucks even more. We got, like, nothing today, huh? Like, maybe 2 pieces? Oh. Alright, we got more than I thought. Alright, we don't have much time, but I'll try and get the rock and some fossils. Yeah. So, things will hopefully go back to normal. Hopefully nothing this comes again. Because like I always say, I tend to try and be... I do try and be a very open, honest, and accommodating person. If people need help, I am more than happy to help them out. If people think I am not doing something, talk to me, because most likely, if I am not doing something in a major degree, then it is most likely that I don't know that's what I'm supposed to do. Because no doubt there are things I will do, and do, because it's like, oh well, it's not a main priority, I'm gonna skip over it. It does definitely happen. But I'll never completely skip something, or not do something, or do something else, because of XYZ. There's usually a reason why I do something the way I do. Because I like, you know, to be nice. I like the job. The company is great. And it's like, yeah, I just want to be here, do things, and whatnot. I just want to work, do a fine enough job at it, and go home. And I think I do that most days, if not every day. You know, I do slack a bit in some degrees, but it's usually to the degree of, like, everything's basically done. We have, like, 10 minutes left. Okay, I'll find something else smaller to preoccupy my time are, okay, I'll go round up rogue carts and get that in the areas it needs to go to. But yeah. And again, sorry if people don't care about my personal plights or anything like that. I know for the past few days, that's all it's really been for Animal Crossing here. Because I also have to get my sleep schedule back to a appropriate and good time. That's two. Three weeds are in the same area. That's weird. Maybe I missed one yesterday. But yeah, so, yeah. Things will go back to normal, hopefully. My work is going back to being good. Though I am going to still focus on my writings and whatnot. I might do Fridays only for myself. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays working with Jay and everything. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I have a lot I want to do to get things off the ground and running. So if, I'm going to really power through it this week and next week and pause and see where we are. If I feel like we're in a good place where I can go back to how it was before, I will. Because the other problem is I procrastinate a bunch. Like, all the time I'll buy a new game and be like, oh, well, after I beat this game, I'll get back to writing, editing, working on my one thing, so it'll be fine. And then it's like, oh, well, this game, might as well buy this game. Shit, no. And then it takes me out even longer, and it's not a good thing. I gotta get better at not doing that. Starting to think maybe I didn't do the weeding yesterday. Hi. Which of those would you sleep on? I sleep on my stomach most of the time. Oh, I feel around the popcorn pillow. I don't see why it's a important issue. This is for you. Polka dot wall. Thank you. That's much appreciated, even though we already have it. Alright. Couldn't find the fossil. So let's get the money and then we'll skedaddle. Because I gotta go to work. Oh. Well, ain't that convenient? So yeah, we're done here. If anything's in the Lost and Found or Town Center, we can get it tomorrow. So, yeah. Either way. Good times, good times. Hopefully, tomorrow I can get back to an actual good schedule. But who knows? It's me. Either way, thank you my brothers for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.